A lot of people will call him principal. I'll still call him Coach. Segar Jordan. On the Sports Buffet podcast, he talks about his days at Amherst County coaching basketball. We talked a little bit about his days playing basketball as well. He played at Bridgewater and also Patrick Henry High School. I don't know if we bring up the days of rejecting Bob Alvis for an interview or not, but we always joke around about that. I love Coach to the umpteenth degree, and he always comes and says hi when he's covering an event, has an assistant principal. He's what I would call a Class A good guy. I would also call him a Class A good interview right here on the Sports Buffet podcast. Not everybody declines me. And I'm not saying I'm a big deal. I'm not. But I got declined in a post-game interview once by Mr. Segar. Is it pronounced Jordan or Jordan? Because I know people butcher it all the time.
It's Jordan.
Okay.
It's Jordan, yes, sir.
Do you remember the time where you got to sit next to me at you were doing the book for your wife's, because your wife was an assistant for Ron Carter.
That's right.
Amherst and JF.
That's right. Amherst and JF was it. I did the book a number of times. I don't know exactly when or where it was. Was it here?
This was at JF. It was a tournament game, postseason.
Yeah. I don't remember the details, immediate details of it, but yes, I do remember sitting next to you. That was fun.
Do you remember your first made dunk in high school or college?
Thanks, Bob. No, I don't, because that never happened in a game. I never dunked in a game. I had one chance to try to attempt a dunk, but it hit back iron and went back and bounced back to half court. But no, I never actually was able to dunk in a game in high school or college.
What was going through your head before you dunked and then after you tried to dunk?
So it was
Southern Virginia.
It was a game against Southern Virginia, yep. And so we were in transition, and I got the ball back to me in the middle, and I was like, I'm going to give this thing a shot. So I went up there, and I think now that we're 15 years later, my recollection is a little bit hazy, but I do remember looking through the center of the goal, like I was up there like Blake Griffin, and I was going to thunder that thing right on through the hoop, and then I saw it hit back iron, and I was like, crap, I'm probably going to get pulled from the game. Coach Burgess is going to pull me from the game and probably never play me again because I missed a dunk. But yeah, no, it was pretty exciting. That was the first ever attempt.
Did you get pulled from the game?
Yes.
Did you ever play again?
I did get put back in the game, but he did pull me and said, "What are you doing? Just finish the bucket, get 2 points."
When did you know you wanted to coach?
Probably my senior year of college is when I knew I really wanted to coach. I was a teacher. It's 2010. At that point in time, it was a little bit difficult to find teaching jobs, and so I was kind of applying around and talking with Coach Burgess and some of the professors up at Bridgewater. They were like, if you want to get that teaching job, you need to be interested in coaching. And so that was when I was like, oh, okay, well, I better start figuring out what I want to do, what kind of offense I want to run and things like that. And then so, that was kind of when I decided if I wanted to teach, which I really wanted to do, then coaching was going to help me get my foot in the door.
Why did you want to teach?
So high school for me was I had a great experience over the course of about 4 years in high school, but I had a couple of rough patches throughout that time period, and I had a couple of teachers that really stepped it up and made my experience a lot better, pulled me through some things that I was in, and so I just had a lot of respect for those teachers, and I kind of wanted to give back and do that as well. Plus, I enjoy social studies, so that was kind of what I wanted to do.
Not to get deep,
yeah.
But what did they do to pull you out of a funk? Is there one thing that you remember?
Nah, not one thing. It was 3 or 4 different teachers that really stuck out for me, coaches that stuck out for me, gave me opportunities, stayed positive with me, gave me good advice, told me to stick with it. And then my high school basketball coach suggested me going to Fork Union Military Academy. So I went up there and did a tryout and did enough to make the team. And so that was like a life-changing experience for me. So, and, I just think school has done such a great job for preparing me for life. And so that's kind of why I wanted to get back in education, is kind of have those same opportunities, give those same opportunities to kids.
So you went to Fork Union for a year.
Yes, sir.
Wow, it's tough to talk serious with you because we goof around so much. But
Yeah.
when you went to Fork Union, how much of it did you have the military commitment to it as well? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I kind of explain it as when I was there, my time there is kind of like VMI light. We did the marching, we did the uniforms. We didn't really do PT and stuff like that, but I was also playing basketball for 2 hours a day.
A lot of running and stuff, or
yeah, a lot of running. So Coach Fletcher Arritt, who was Virginia high school legend, coaches Hall of Fame, all that other good stuff. Fantastic coach. He had every 3 times a year in the preseason we had to run what is called the Crossroads, and that was a 3.1 mile run. And so he timed us at the beginning, middle, and end of preseason conditioning. And my time, I think, went, don't quote me on this, but from around 28 minutes my first time I ran it down to 21 minutes. So, yeah, we ran
heck of improvement.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
In seriousness.
Yeah, I dropped 7 minutes off my 5K and lost probably 35 or 40 pounds in about 8 weeks.
Yeah,
That place is legit.
If you don't know, a 3.1 is basically a 5K.
Yeah.
That what you're running. So,
Okay.
Ton of running.
Ton of running.
So you want to play basketball, or you want to coach your senior year of college, correct?
Yes, sir.
So do you start looking at the game? Oh, let me ask it this way, and I'm not trying to be rude. Did you play a lot your senior year?
In college, I played a lot. Yeah.
So you can't watch it analytically because you're on the floor.
No, but I learned some things like how to. Going into my senior year is when I really learned how to watch film, and not just watch the game and look for the cool things that I did, but watch the game from a coaching perspective.
Right.
Hey, this is what you could have done better. This is what you could have done differently, and that's where I really started to pick up on how to watch film and learn the coaching aspect from that part.
Now, I think basketball is different from other sports because you have less positions on the floor, but at the same time, if you're a 5, you need to kind of know what the 1's going to do. If you're watching film, did it make you understand everybody else's role by watching film? Because, hey, I might be playing one position, but now I kind of understand why that guy does what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've always been a fairly heady player and understanding not everybody's role at all the times, but going back and watching it and seeing that, my senior year of college is really when I first started watching film. And so seeing, not just knowing what everybody's doing, but then seeing it and then seeing how other players are playing. So if I know if my point guard's going to take, a couple dribbles over this way, then I can see what the other guys are doing at the same time.
You watch a lot of film as a D3 player?
No, I did not.
Okay, but did Burgess have the team watching a lot of film?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when you get to high school, do you remember your first game? It's okay if you don't.
As a high school basketball coach?
As a coach.
I think I remember one of my first games.
Take me through it.
All right, so we're playing. Oh man, one of the first games I remember, or the first game. I think one of the first games I remember. I'll just start with that.
Yeah, go for that.
We were
please.
playing at Appomattox. I was coaching girls basketball, and a girls basketball team hadn't won in 3 years, and so this is my first year as a girls basketball coach, and we were playing, and I think it was a really, really close game. We ended up losing by 3 or 4 points on free throws at the very end of the game. But I had a little point guard, and it was Camden Marshall, and then I had a big Alex Goldman, and they were running a nice little 1-2 game, and we missed a couple layups, but we were playing hard. And at some point in time, I think somewhere in the third quarter, I ended up getting a technical foul. The ref thought I said something I didn't say. And I ended up getting a technical. That didn't cost us a game. It obviously didn't help. But, yeah, I remember that game very well at Appomattox. And it was like, oh, my gosh, we're going to win our game. We're going to break the streak. We're going to break the streak. We're going to win a game. And then we did not.
So your first job out of college is coaching girls basketball.
Yes, sir.
And I know you from coaching boys basketball. Does coaching girls basketball make you a better boys coach?
I think it definitely helps because from my experience with girls basketball, there's a lot of X's and O's. The game is slower, kind of a little bit more of a chess match.
Right.
You can it's very slow, so you can call plays in the middle of a set. If they're walking the ball up the court, you can call plays and get people in the right positions and then attack. So that helps with learning X's and O's and learning how to teach X's and O's.
Are you a better teacher of the game or coach of the game? And did girls make you better at one or the other? Teacher of the game to me means you teach a skill. Coach means you know when to call a timeout, you know when to adjust, so forth. So under my definition, are you a better teacher or a better coach of the game?
Probably a better teacher of the game. I think a better teacher of the game, and I think that comes a lot from that girls basketball aspect. Where my first couple of years, I'm soaking everything in, trying to learn as much as possible, and trying to teach a lot of those girls how to play the game the right way.
So you desire the practice time more.
Yeah.
Most coaches like that, you think?
I think most coaches like the games. I think they like the lights and they like the game and they like to do all that stuff. I really enjoy the preparation and the summer workouts and the early morning workouts. I like that personally a lot more. I know the kids don't.
Right. Give me your preparation mindset of, like, let's say you've got Brookville or JF or Liberty coming up on the schedule when you're coaching. When do you start watching? How much film do you watch? Because was film different when you were coaching? I mean, it hadn't been so long ago, but was Huddle what it is now?
We had Huddle and all that stuff, and we were exchanging film a lot. That made it. So my first couple of years, I was, if as time allowed, right? I would go and scout Brookville. If I would scout them, try to get through every team in the Seminole District before Christmas break. Mm-hmm. So I could see them. I was taking notes. What are the tendencies? Who's their best player? Thinking about my guys. Who am I going to put on their best player? How are we going to defend these things? What's their general philosophy of basketball? And then trying to figure that stuff out.
Why do you want to see a team live as opposed to just seeing them on film?
Well, my first couple of years we didn't really have film.
But if you had the choice, would you rather? And let's pretend that you don't have a wife, you don't have a kid to deal with. And I say that lovingly. Yeah. But would you rather still go out and watch a game, or would you rather watch the film?
There's pros and cons. The film is easier, right? I can sit in my couch and watch the film. And
24 hours a day, pretty much, too. Yeah. You can watch the film. But game...
I really like the film aspect of like being able to clip it up. Mm-hmm. So I can watch the film and then I can say, hey, this is their set, and clip it start to finish, and then I can go back and show my players this is their play that they're running, and I would have notes on it, and that was really good. That was really effective.
I got to imagine you like watching film more than the kid likes a clip. Yay or nay? Because if you're sending the kid a clip, my question kind of is the kid more of a get out there and do it learner as opposed to, hey, I mean, I'm glad Coach watched the film, but how much am I getting off that? Right.
I think.
Did you have that problem?
I didn't. I don't think I really had that problem. Mm-hmm. I think the kids appreciated the fact that I was able to take an entire game and knock it down into a 5-minute film session.
Did you have to dumb it down a little bit? And I'm not trying to knock kids at all, but kids don't have the learning that maybe an adult does. I mean, Bob didn't have it at 18, they did at 30.
Right. So what we would do is we would go down to my classroom and we would watch about 5 to 10 minutes worth of an entire game condensed down. Right. And then we would go up to practice and then say, all right, guys, this is what we just saw on film. When they dribble over this way, this is what they're trying to do. And, and this guy posts, and this is how we're going to defend it. And so they would watch it, and then we would do it at practice and just in preparation for it.
When did you have to kind of not overcomplicate things? Do you feel like you ever did that as a coach?
No, I tried my best not to overcomplicate things. Like I remember, I forget exactly what year. I think it was going into 2017 season. I'd been running a similar type offense for years, and it was just getting a little bit too complicated. Right. And so it was that year that I decided we're not doing any more ball screens. And that was all total preparation for LCA because they ran that pack line hard hedge. Right. Trapping up there. If you run any sort of ball screen, they're hedging it hard. And so I think keeping it simple is very, very important.
How old were you when you first became a head coach approximately?
22.
Okay. 22-year-old Segar can relate to his kids because he's not much older than they are to a degree. Right. What does it mean to be relational to you as a coach?
I think it's difficult as a coach learning the relational part. It's hard because you want to build those relationships, but you also there's a boundary, and it's at the same time like I'm the coach. This is what I'm telling you to do. I'm not your buddy.
Right.
And so that's hard. That's a hard line in coaching and teaching and all sorts of things. Like you want to be relational with the people and be able to laugh and joke and have good relationships with them. But at the same time, there's also got to be that I'm the authority figure, and this is what we're going to do.
Do you need to know pop culture and what the kids are interested in, or do you just need to know the kid?
I think you just need to know the kid. Mm-hmm. You just need to know the kid. I think if they make a pop culture reference and you don't understand it, and then they laugh at you,
Well, I mean, because now you probably don't maybe know. Well, you got a kid and a daughter, but you may not know the music as much as the kids listen to, as opposed to 22-year-old.
Yeah,
Segar did.
Yeah, that's hitting hard for me, man. I don't know the songs, and I'm feeling old.
Right.
I don't feel old, but then when kids are listening to music, I'm like, what are y'all listening to?
Right.
It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel old.
What made you a better administrator? Because you're an administrator now. What made you a better administrator, being a coach or being a husband?
Ooh, great question. I think being a coach helped me be a better administrator.
Why?
Because I had a lot of experience with managing people, talking to parents, communicating like effectively, and all that stuff that comes with everyday job. And so that's helped me a lot. I have a lot more patience. My wife tells me I have a lot more patience with my kids at school than I do with my own kids. So still working on that. I still got a lot of room to grow, but I think the coaching for 10, 15 years definitely helped me a lot more than.
What does patience mean to you?
What is patience?
If I said define patience, give me the Segar Jordan definition of patience, not Webster.
How much you can internalize, mm-hmm. and how much you can take on a daily basis, depending on whatever the scenario is, without absolutely losing your mind.
I got to imagine 22-year-old Segar not extremely patient, or
not the most patient. No, sir.
When did you develop it?
I'm still working on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, was there a moment though to where it kind of clicked of, hey, I can't be, I don't want to say a wild man, but I can't be,
Yeah, I mean, I remember the late great Lee Luther.
Mm-hmm.
He came and he was doing a lot of our games when I was coaching girls basketball, and one of his favorite pictures of me was in the middle of coaching a basketball game, and I had my tie in my mouth, so I looked like a frog because I was eating my tie, but it was hanging out. So that would be probably a good example of not being very patient. And so I think it was probably 6 or 7 years into my coaching when I realized I got to stop acting like this. I can't be jumping up and down. And
was there a moment that made it click?
No, I don't think. I think it was probably one off season. I made a conscious effort. I got to calm it down.
I would argue eating your tie is actually a little bit of discernment because, hey, I don't want to say something that's going to get my team penalized with a technical foul. So if I put something in my mouth, whether it be a tie or not, seriously, yeah. I mean, it's going to help.
Yeah, but it was also right. I think a lot of it was for show too.
I'm trying to help.
I know you're trying to help. I know. I appreciate it. But I think at that point I was 22 years old and I was trying to be showy. I was probably trying to show up the referee and let him know. So.
Do you have a coaching mentor? Let's go grand scale.
Grand scale.
I was going to say not somebody that coached you, but is there somebody on a national level you looked at and you're like, he or she does things right, I'd like to be like them? You said no, so.
Yeah, I think the coaches that coached me, right, those were the ones that I've definitely looked up to. I know starting out I wanted to be like Fletcher Arritt.
Right.
And I quickly learned that you can't be Fletcher Arritt in a public school. He was at military school, private, all boys academy. It's just different beast. And so, then I started trying to look at, what's Coach Burgess. He's a very relational coach and trying to be a lot like him. And, I remember one time I went to UNC coaches clinic and, Roy Williams was there and talking about, the offense that they run and the defense that they run. And then I was watching that and I go, well, I don't have any 6'10", 7-foot guys that can run like gazelles and shoot the ball from 45% from the deep. So this isn't really helping me either. So, being like those college coaches is it sounds great, but I don't have the Jimmys and Joes to be able to do that.
So clinics didn't help you X's and O's wise as much. gosh, I don't want to say they didn't help you.
No, they helped for sure, but I took it with a grain of salt.
So
realistic with it.
Roy's going to talk about running the floor with 6'10" gazelles. Respectfully, you don't have those. How can you kind of take what Roy said and put it into, or can you put it into, hey, I can do the principle even if I don't have the personnel?
Yeah, absolutely. So the reason why I went to that UNC coach clinic, I'm a UVA fan, but a lot of respect for UNC. They ran that Carolina transition, and I really liked that. We ran that at Fork Union, so I wanted to learn more about that stuff. The back screens and things of that nature. And so, if we're talking X's and O's right now, when we go through the Carolina transition and we set that back screen, I don't have a 6'10" gazelle. I'm not going to be able to throw it over the top to one of my guys. That's I got a 6 foot center. So what are the second, third, fourth options that we can probably get to run that same transition, same principles? And so seeing those third and fourth options that they have at Carolina was helpful for sure.
We talked about the moment to where it kind of clicked of, I got to be more patient in the off season. Was there anything in a game to where somebody ran something against you and you're like, man, this kind of worked for them, maybe I try it? I mean, did anything like that ever happen, or were you just too busy not focusing on that?
I definitely.
And I'm not fishing.
Yeah, no. When I watch film and things of that nature, I would see a lot of good stuff.
Right.
I mean, a lot of the coaches in the Seminole District, at points in time, I would see something go, man, that's really good. Like I remember Jester used to run an Iverson cut for some of his players.
Right.
And so maybe I would keep that in my wheelhouse of, if I ever have a point guard that's, kind of like the point guards that he had, I forget their names. But he had 2, I think, all-district point guards back and over a 5 or 6 year period. Yep. He had them coming through. And so it's like, if I ever have that guy, this is something that I'll run with them. And so I definitely put stuff in my back pocket, watching film, learning. I learned a lot from those other guys.
When did you become a UVA fan?
The day I was born.
Why? I mean, is there a reason why? Or
let's see. My grandfather went there. Okay. My half grandfather went there. My mom went to law school there. My dad went to school there. So, yeah, I've watched games at U-Haul. Been to Scott Stadium. When I was very young, watching games and things like that.
Who's the UVA GOAT to you?
Ralph.
Who's the second UVA GOAT? If Ralph didn't go to UVA, we'll just pretend that.
That sounds terrible. I don't want to pretend that. I don't want to live in that world.
We're imagining. Use your imagination. Who's your second GOAT? Maybe that was a UVA player.
Right now, top of my head.
Yeah, it's. I didn't tell you, so this.
I love Singletary. Yeah, I love Singletary. Okay, he was awesome. My first earliest memories were those teams with Chase Matheny is not a UVA go to me, but Norman Nolan, Chase Matheny, those guys, those were the first games I watched, and I fell in love with UVA basketball.
I remember. I don't know if this is before your time or after it. Pete Gillen is coaching in the first year.
Sweaty guy. Walk
on.
Yeah.
He had a guy named Raleigh Harbor.
Yeah.
And he called him the bartender because he worked at the Biltmore.
Yeah.
In Charlottesville.
Yeah.
So
my brother who also went to UVA, I forgot to mention him. He knew him because he was at UVA at the same time when they had the open tryouts. And I asked him, are you gonna go try out? He's like, no, I'm not gonna go try out. But yeah, he knew the bartender. Yeah.
Interesting, because you would figure most teams are not having open tryouts to where they're seriously looking for players.
Yeah.
But that was I don't want to say a rough time, but that was a unique time.
I don't know. Was he hired late or something? I don't know why they had to do that.
I don't remember. I know it went well. I mean, honestly, and I know I can ruffle some feathers in the Amherst community, i.e. Brian Carter with this one. I mean, if Terry Holland never brings in Ralph, we have a whole different discussion of that time period. I don't remember how, because I remember it was going to go Rick Barnes. Allegedly, it was going to be the next UVA coach. Then you had Dave Odom, Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones ended up getting it. Then it went Gillen.
Yeah.
Then it went a little south, maybe, for some people, Lato. And then Tony Bennett comes in. And
Legend, Tony Bennett. That's right. I was at the ACC tournament when Lato got fired. I think they lost to somebody by 30. And in the first round of the ACC tournament, it was down in Atlanta, I think. And
was there a collection play at the gate going out to drop it in?
Yeah, I think a couple of those bigwigs went down to the AD and said, yeah, this is his last game. And I don't even think he made it through the ACC tournament.
Who's the basketball go to you? Is it MJ?
Yeah. Yeah, LeBron's number 2. I got
Is
MJ
it close? Or
no, not really.
why Jordan?
Oh man.
Last name?
Yeah, the last name. He's just fantastic. I mean, he's undefeated in the NBA Finals. You know, he was able to change his game from being score first, 35 points a game to, winning 6 championships. He had a lot of help. I will give him that. He had a lot of help, but so did LeBron. So, yeah.
But I think until the minds clicked, for Jordan especially, because Jordan had Pippen for a while, but until that mind clicked.
Well, he also had Phil Jackson and Tex Winters, right? He had some really, really, really good coaches.
But you talk about the mind. I think the mind's important because when it clicked of Segar's not going to be the wild man that he is, he's going to become more patient. Things maybe turn around. Did you feel things got better for you personally when you had that mind click of I'm going to become more patient?
Yeah, so that was for sure. Personally, I think you're not putting as much pressure. Being a lot more patient, not letting the game. We get a loss, and then it would stick with me for 3 or 4 days, and being able to kind of knock that stuff out and like moving forward, always looking ahead was for me personally helped me out a lot.
Final question for now. We'll come back and do this again at some point if you'll talk to me. That's always the running joke that we have now.
Yes, sir.
Old Segar is giving advice to young Segar. What's the one piece of advice he gives him? It doesn't have to be basketball related. Whatever you want.
Current me giving advice. How old is the person that I'm giving advice to?
You're a knucklehead, so you could still be a knucklehead.
10th grade year. So 10th grade.
Okay. So Segar, Administrator Segar,
Yep.
is giving advice to 10th grade Segar.
Yeah. I'm going to say take a deep breath. When you get frustrated, take a deep breath. It's going to be fine. All right. Do whatever somebody's telling you to do. Don't talk back. Don't do anything like that. Just be patient. Trust the course. Everything's going to be fine.
Tell your kids that coaching too?
All the time. Guys, when you get frustrated, I think we were playing Brookville one time. And close game. And I call a timeout. Guys are coming over there. And I start yelling at all the kids, like, calm down. Well, that's not going to help at all.
Hey, a person yelling calm down is not going to make people calm down.
Yelling at them to calm down isn't going to be very good. So, then you fast forward 2 or 3 years. You ask me, is there a moment that clicks? Yeah, that's going back to one of your early questions. I do remember that moment. And then I go forward 2 or 3 years, and I'm like, when I call a timeout, high pressure game, we got to get a bucket. I might start the timeout with everybody take a deep breath. Let's relax. Let's focus. All right, now this is what we're going to do. You know what I mean?
If I come back in 3 and 4 weeks and we do this interview again, is the advice still the same, or does the advice kind of differ by day, if that makes sense?
No, I think the advice will be the same.
Okay.
That's good. I think that's good life advice. Everybody needs to take a deep breath, relax.
Pause.
Let's roll.
I like it. Segar Jordan on the Sports Buffet.